Hi guys, so I'm on campus today getting a COVID test done just because it was one of the requirements as a student coming back. You have to get a COVID test. Separate from the government test that I had to get done during quarantine, but at least the one in quarantine you have to pay for. I'm assuming the school one is free. If not, it's probably going to bill to my account, but I don't think I have to pay for it. I hope not. If you know anything about SGU, about me, about Grenada, SGU is currently 100% online, but there are a few students like myself who've chose to come back. There are some students who never left, and so you just have to have a test to come onto campus. There was an outbreak here in Grenada at the Sandals Resort, and there was like a spike of 50 cases, and so even students who had never left had to get retested and get a second test. For me, I only have to get one, and so I'm just going to show that process and everything of how the school is doing testing. I'm not sure what they're going to do about students returning to the island. I'm sure they would have like method to the madness and everything. There will be a system in place. I'm not sure if we're even coming back, if they're going to let everyone back all at once, if it's going to be a staggered re-entry. I know that's what Ross University has done, but they also only have the vet school. We have vet, med, and a school of arts and sciences, but regardless, this is what they're doing now. I've seen snaps. I keep up with everything because I'm on YouTube, I'm on student government, so I'm just going to show a little synopsis of like how SGU is doing testing right now. The COVID testing done at SGU is done every Wednesday in Open Monica, which is this huge, nice breezeway here on campus. It's set up really nice so that it's like one way in, one way out. Everything's like labeled on the floor. So like here is where you start, and then everything is like taped off so that you remain 6 feet apart throughout the entire procedure. And yeah, it was really smooth. At this first station, you get your temperature taken and you get a clipboard with all of your information. Also in that first little line, they're like always giving out hand sanitizer, which is something in Grenada I've noticed in general like they're really good about, and so I really like that, just making sure your hands are clean before you start touching stuff. Then you stand in line for the second screening test, and like I said, it was like really smooth. You're supposed to schedule this ahead of time, so like it's not a lot of people there, you're not waiting, like it just went so smooth. And so this second table, they're like asking you like what program you're in, what term, because I think it's also open to locals as well. Any symptoms, any contact with someone who might have been positive, have you traveled in the past 14 days? And for me, I just got to Grenada a week ago, so it was yes, but that doesn't stop you. And so at that station, they give you your actual swab, and you take that with you to the next station, which that's actually where you get tested. And one thing I noticed is that they clean up really well. They like wipe down the chairs like before every person, and it's just here in Grenada, I've been here for a week, and like the cleaning measures are like great, and I just don't see it in the US, like even in like restaurants and buildings, like of course in the healthcare field, but I think it should just be done everywhere. And so here she just asks you, can you open it up for her? One thing at SGU is they only do a single nostril swab, so it's not both sides of your nose. The only thing was, this one was probably the most aggressive one I've had done. It hurt like so bad. She went fast and she was really sweet, but like normally like when you kind of like back away, they kind of like get nicer and try to like stop, but she just kept going. That's probably the worst one I've had done yet, and it was only done in one nostril, and it hurt so bad. She did it quick, but it hurt. Oh my goodness. I understand why everyone hates getting these. Like, they're already bad, but that one's been the worst. I feel like I should be bleeding right now. Anyways, after that, you take everything and you stand in like the checkout line onto the last table. It was just so nice how like easy it went. It wasn't backed up or anything, but pretty much at this last table, they give you a single barcode if you've been in Grenada since before that little spike of cases. You get 2 if it's your first time, kind of like me. Also at this table, you give back your clipboard, and as you can see, like there's someone wiping it down like with disinfectant, because those clipboards go back to the beginning to be handed off to like new people, and they pretty much just take everything, tell you you're good to go. And like I said, they print out this little barcode. For me, I got 2 because that just means I've been tested like since that spike. If you have been on the island before, you'd be getting a second test, and you would get just 1 barcode to have 2. And yeah, so now I have my 2 barcodes on the back of my ID, and so I would just show this when I'm trying to get on campus, and I can come like study in the open spaces and use the gym and stuff. The only thing was, is since I hadn't had a test or anything, they had me at the
campus security gate fill out this thing, but it's normally for vendors or like a visitor just asking for symptoms or anything like that. So I had to sign it for this one day, but pretty much going forward, I can just show the barcodes and they know I've had a negative test recently. So yeah.
Okay, I try to keep this video short and sweet. I'm headed back home. I have a few mandatory lectures today. I'm so happy to be back. Like, campus is just so beautiful. Like, look at the background. It's like water right there. But yeah, so that was it. I have all these videos coming at y'all. Like, I'm back on my game in Grenada making my YouTubes. But okay, until next time. Might I just point out one more thing as I drive through campus? They said results will be back tonight. And this is not a rapid test, to which I keep having to explain to so many people. This is a PCR test. Why is it that in the States, it takes 2 to mostly 5 days to get a result back? But here you can get it back in the same day. The U.S. needs to step up its game. Like, even like down here, I've seen like the safety protocol. Literally in every store you walk in, you have to get your temperature taken. You have to use hand sanitizer, and you have to write it down. You have to write your name, your number, and your address, and the temperature that the person at the door gives you. In the U.S., it's optional to use hand sanitizer when you walk into stores, and they don't check temperatures everywhere. There are some places, but not the vast majority. It's everywhere here. Every restaurant, every store, every establishment. And you have to have on a mask or you just cannot come in. We need to step up our game. We need to step up our game in the U.S. But, okay, that's it for real.